Everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gaming Daddy channel. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Also, thank you very much for those who watch my Avengers beta review, whatever it is we're gonna call it. I really appreciate your feedback, and I guess the conversation continues to go with a few concerns from a lot of people. One of the concerns is that this game looks like a mobile game, and then the other concern is the game is quite repetitive. So I wanted to kind of maybe see if I could address those two things in this video. I might take some rabbit trails because I don't have a script, and a lot of what I want to say is pretty much general knowledge for a lot of people who play games like this. But if there's anyone that has any doubts, I wanted to just maybe lay out this case so that they kind of know what's going on. I mean, the game isn't out yet. There's going to be an open beta, which is really nice, if you get what I mean. So people can try their hands on it and still make a determination if they want to participate. So the first concern is this game comparable to a mobile game? I would say no. I mean, because there are multiple layers of gameplay and multiple layers of progression that makes this game infinitely, greater in regard to playtime, enjoyment, and all that than any mobile game that I can actually, maybe put my finger on, unless you're talking about Microsoft's xCloud platform, where you have full games that you can play on your mobile phone. If you're not discussing or talking about referring to that, then I don't think Marvel Avengers falls into that category. It's not a fair assessment. Think about the gear game, think about the loot game, the grind game. Think about the character progression game. Think about all the other content that's coming in. Think about vendors and different things like bounties. Compare maybe Destiny. Maybe juxtapose a slice of Destiny into this game, and you're going to see that this game has a lot to offer if it will follow that pattern and if the development team are diligent in putting out content in a decent amount of time. Gamers are quite hungry these days because it's been a very huge drought since they postponed this game from May, Cyberpunk, April, or whatever the release dates were supposed to be. And so players, gamers have to wait those months in order for them to get some decent games. So people are going to be blowing through content very fast. And so these developers better understand what it is that they're actually asking for. I mean, I played the Division, and I can tell you that right now the community is like, we need content. But those devs on that Division side too, they have a lot of qualms that we deal with in the community because for some strange reason they're kind of slow in putting out content. And Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics, I don't know if they're a multi-game studio, if they're going to be making multiple games, if they're going to just focus on this one game. But I guess we're going to see how far this project goes, because I think if they focus on this game, they're able to bring out more content, and people aren't going to be able to make that claim saying, oh, this game just looks like a generic mobile game. So I guess that's the first part. Second concern is the game looks like it's going to be repetitive. It just seems like some repetitive thing that you're going to be doing over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, you're right. The game will have a lot of repetitive aspects. But for the audience that this game is actually trying to target, repetition is pretty much what everybody that plays games like this is about. Think Diablo, think Destiny, think Borderlands 3, think The Division. You play the same missions over and over again. Now you can come at them from different angles in a sense, or you can use different builds, different loadouts. In the case of this game, you can use different characters, different character combinations. You can do activities and try to achieve different kinds of, maybe scores, or attain different kinds of landmarks, or whatever it is that suits you. And that will be some of the fun aspects of a game like this. This is a dedicated game to games as a service model. And I know, it's sort of frowned upon in the gaming community. Games as a service, and that's because the companies that have tried to execute it, many of them have not necessarily executed it flawlessly. It's not like there haven't been people who've done a good job or not done a good job. It's just that flawless execution that as a gamer, you've come up with it, with the fact that a game can be done very well, and then you walk into games as a service and the name of the game is Anthem. So there is a little bit of skepticism for any new games as a service game right now, especially having gone through the drama of things like Destiny's Curse of Osiris or Forsaken. Which one was the bad one? You Destiny guys always tell me that there's one that was a bad one, because I used a thumbnail one time and all the Destiny players that are around, they cringe. They said, yo, you used the worst thumbnail in the world because that was one of the worst DLC. Oh, Taken King. I can't remember, but you get what I mean. So if you think about things like that, you think about Anthem, you think about the Division 1 initial launch, think about Division 2 post-launch and endgame being lacking. These are the things that are driving skepticism among a lot of people with games as a service. Now, how can games as a service patterns from these companies, how can they mitigate these high expectations? I think a free-to-play model is a way to go. Now, should Marvel Avengers use a free-to-play model? Well, that's too late. They've already put a price point on it, and I'm betting, Square Enix that signed the deal is probably needing these checks to come in so that they can get a portion for themselves and then give whoever owns these rights their own cut. So now that people have paid $60, the biggest fear should not be, in my opinion, this game being repetitive or this game being like some mobile game, but is this game going to have enough content that's coming along with it? And the repetition that the game is going to have, is it going to be worth the time of players? You have these two questions, and if they're answered very well, then this game is going to serve its purpose. It's going to join the collection of other games that are going to be coming out in this window with the new console generation, the new launch, fall, holiday. Hopefully a lot of what's going on in our world finally gets mitigated and is out of the way so that people can go back to doing life, and perhaps we'll be able to see a lot more games come out as well, and we'll get a good mixture. I mean, yes, games as a service is not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but once in a while it's okay for us to gain some variety. I mean, we got two major AAA games, The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, and now we're getting a major AAA branded, I would just say, games as a service type game. Nothing really wrong with that. We're gonna see Cyberpunk 2077 come soon. That one, no one really knows about the multiplayer aspect, or maybe there's gonna be PvP. There was some talk or announcements that haven't necessarily been fleshed out, so we don't really know what that's gonna be. But from a single player perspective, a lot of people are saying we're holding off till Cyberpunk 2077. If that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. On this side, I'm a YouTuber, and there are a lot of audience members here that are going to be playing this game, so we're going to see what it's about. Having played The Division for so many years, it's very hard to disappoint me right now as a gamer, so I guess that's what I'm going to go on, and I guess we'll be talking about this content and talking about this whole beta experience all the way through the next beta with PC and Xbox. Hopefully I'm able to jump in on that. I'll be happy to play it again, no doubt. And for those of you who are, here on the channel who are asking about playing with me, I need to set up my Discord channel, and perhaps we'll be able to jump in a few games. I do not have an Xbox. I only have a PC and a PlayStation 4, so those are going to be the platforms I will most likely be playing on. So stay tuned. Let me hear your questions if you have any in the comment section. I'm really excited to, see what this game is about. Not like hyped, but, I just want to know what it's about. I want to see the full context, and I want to be able to explore and enjoy that progression as well. So I guess that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys for watching the video, and hopefully we'll see you in another one. Peace.